there, I'm Becky Miller. I'm a yoga therapist, and I come to you each week with just a quick tip to help you live healthier and happier. This week, I want to talk about triggers a little bit. Specifically, just going to reassure you first off that being triggered is normal. And when I may say triggered, I mean reacting to a situation in a way that you might not be doing on purpose. Maybe it's coming from a place deep inside you. So often if you've been, or if you've rather experienced trauma, some things will trigger you. It may be related to the trauma, it may be a similar situation, or it might be something that you didn't expect to trigger you and to bring back certain emotions, certain feelings, certain sensations. But triggers happen when you've experienced trauma. It might be 20 years later, it might be 10 minutes later, but triggers are going to happen. The thing is, knowing that they're going to happen, how you respond to that trigger is really what's most important. Do you give yourself time to cool off, react, step back, or do you use it as a jumping off point to attack in order to deflect, in order to not deal with it? How you respond to a trigger is really to me is what's more important, because you're going to get triggered. It's going to happen. It happens to me. It happens to all of my clients. But can you recognize it when it happens? If you've not done much work in trauma, if you've not done much work on your own trauma rather, then no, you may not even recognize that you've been triggered, but it's still happening. So when you've started to process your trauma, when you've started to work on it, you might start to recognize those times when you get triggered a little bit more. And that gives you the chance to notice your response, to notice how you are dealing with it. I'll give you an example of myself. Just in recent, I was thinking about it before I started this video. In the past week, I've had multiple people give me these ideas of how they think I should be growing my business, how they think I should be, I need to be doing. And, on the surface, they're all really great ideas. The thing is, having so many of them come all at once, I got a little bit triggered. I got overwhelmed. I was like, whoa, I just had to stop for a moment, because I was like, these are all great ideas, but I can't do all of them. I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the desire really to do all of them. But I noticed that I had to sit in that space of overwhelm for really a day or so. As probably closer to 2 days, but I had to sit in that space of overwhelm and just kind of ignore everything before I all of a sudden recognized, oh, wait a minute, I was getting a little bit triggered by the fact that so many people, and they were well meant, these ideas, but they weren't something that I'd sought out. So it was just kept piling on top of me. It was more work that I had to do. And I knew that I couldn't do all of that work, not and still function in a healthy way. So I had to step back and say, okay, hold on, let me look at this from a different perspective. This is what happened. I got triggered because all of these layers were put on top of me, whether I wanted them or not. So giving myself that space to step back gave me a different lens to look at what was happening. And it helped me to realize that, no, I don't have to do all of these well-intentioned suggestions. I could pick and choose. I could ignore them all. But I didn't have to follow through on everything that was put on my plate. So that's just an example from my own life in the last week. But your triggers might look totally different. Most likely they do look totally different. First step is recognizing when you're triggered, knowing that it's going to happen if you've experienced trauma, and how and giving yourself that chance to respond rather than react to whatever is triggering you. How you respond is really what matters to that trigger. Some days you'll do it better than others. That's okay. Awareness is the first step. So noticing when you get triggered, how you get triggered, and how you respond, something to think about. So I hope I've given you just a little bit of a seed to consider. Not solving anything right now, of course, but just giving you something to think about. And if you have any comments, any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below the video. Happy to chat about it. Yoga therapy is a somatic practice that helps you with this awareness, and if you're interested in trying that, please reach out to me. Happy to chat with you about that as well. That's all for now. Remember, it's never too late to live healthier and happier. You just have to take that first step, that next step, whatever it is for you. And I'll be back next week with another quick tip. Bye for now.